never done this, you've graphed all these functions. You have x squared, you could do x minus 2 squared. You could do x minus 2 squared plus 1. You could flip it. You could do all that stuff, right? But you've never done a reciprocal graph, and you're about to go into a whole new world here. This is a really cool technique. I'm going to give you 4 steps for doing it, and it's going to be very super helpful. First step, sketch f of x. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the most basic of all of the reciprocal graphs, 1 over x. So you start with that. Okay? Then I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, negative, positive 1, 2. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is identify f of x equal to 1, f of x equal to negative 1. You're going to identify those points. And the reason you're going to do that is because we're going to use those points to figure it out. Now, what some people do is just draw a light little y equal 1, y equal to negative 1 line. Oop. There you go. And you see how it runs into this place and that place. And it should be negative 1, 1, and 1, 1. That's where those should be. Negative 1, 1, 1, 1. How are we doing? Doing all right? So one more time, you sketch it, then draw y equal to 1, y equal to negative 1. Those are flat horizontal lines, and you see where they hit that curve. Now, here's the tricky part. You have 2 zones. You have 0 to 1 zone and 1 to infinity zone. What you're going to do with those zones is you're going to flip to the other, 1 to infinity, or you're going to flip to 0 to 1. Because, take some numbers. What's 1 over 2? Half, right? What's 1 over 5? Fifth. 1 over 10. 1 over 100. All those values bigger than 1 are going to end up 1/5, 1/10, 1/4, whatever, will be between 0 and 1. So when you take the reciprocal of any y value bigger than 1, it's going to end up between 0 and 1. So see all of these points up here? If you flip like this 2 flips, if you take 1 over 2, that's going to be down here, 1/2. What if I took a 4? What's 1 over 4? 1/4. What if I took a 10? It'd be 1 over 10. And so you would see that this is going to go here. And what happened is, this is the part students have trouble seeing, is that this 1 to infinity flips to 0 to 1. It's weird, but that's what happens. It's like this y equal 1 line, it just flips over there. So that's what I did with the 1 to infinity, flip to 0, 1. Now let's do 0 to 1. If this is a half, you flip that over, what do you get? 2. If I flip over 1/4, what does that flip over to? To 4. And so you can see that this one is going to stretch here. Now, 1 over 0 is undefined because it goes to infinity. So your line, reciprocal line, looks like that. And it's going to be, it'll take a while to get used to these, but you will. Let's do the negative side. The negative side, you can also look at 0. Actually, it would be 0. it would be negative 1 to 0 is going to flip to negative infinity to negative 1. And obviously, you'll have negative infinity to negative 1 flipping to negative 1 to 0. So let's do that. So this is in the middle here, negative 1/2. Flip that over, negative 1/2 becomes what? What is 1 over negative 1/2? Negative 2. What is 1 over negative 1/4? 4. And so you can see this 0 to 1 part flipping down here. And then we do the same thing. Here's the negative 2. 1 over negative 2 is negative 1/2. 1 over negative 1/4. 1 over that is going to be, or I'm sorry, 1 over negative 4 is going to be 1/4. So you can see that coming here. And remember we talked about the butterfly? That's the reciprocal graph. How are we doing? Doing all right? No? Yeah, this one takes a little while. This one takes a bit. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do y equal 1 over x squared. Here's 1 over x squared. Start at 0. We'll call this 1, 2, 3. Negative 1, 2, negative 3. And let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 0, 0 for x squared. So we're going to draw step 1. F of x, we'll just say is x squared. Graph that. 1, 1. Negative 1, 1. Negative 2, 4. 2, 4. Here is your y equal x squared. The second step was to draw y equal to 1 or y equal to negative 1. So let's do that. See how I did that? And I'm going to put the little stars in. Stars are awesome. Okay. Okay. Then we have 0 to 1. So if this is a half, it goes up to 2. If this is a fourth, it goes up to 4. So this 0 to 1 is going to flip up to here. This one here is 2. So if this is 2, 1 over 2 is a half. 1 over 4 is going to be a fourth. And so this one's going to flip down this way. See if you can do the other side. This 0 to 1 flips up, and 1 to infinity flips down to here. Will it ever go negative? Go into the, you can't reciprocal things that are positive and ever go to negative. So those aren't going to cross. Remember I told you what 1 over x squared was? Go this way? That's the genie. So we just proved that, showed that with this reciprocal technique. All right, try this one. If you can do this one, we're good. We are. So I draw my y equal to 1 line, and then I put wherever it hits the y equal to 1 or y equal to negative 1, like that. Okay. Then we're ready to do the flips. Okay, ready to do the flips? If this goes from 0 to 1, it's going to flip up like that. I'm going to use this big, there we go. From 0 to 1, this one's going to flip up. This at 0, it's going to go here. One thing that might help, I forgot to mention this. I'm mad now. I forgot. What's 1 over 0? Yeah, this is going to be a vertical asymptote. And so I can't believe I forgot this. It's one of my steps. Wherever it hits a 0, would you draw a little vertical line where it hits the 0? Okay, so here's my 0, 0, 0. So I don't like this one anymore, this red line. I like this, though. It's going to come up to here, and then this part is going to, let's see, that goes, oh, that was already going up, wasn't it? That was, I can't quite tell. Oh, yeah, this is no good here. Let's go, boom, get this thing out of here. So this one is going to go up to there. That's what it's going to do. Sorry about that. And this one from 0 to 1 is going to flip up to the asymptote. Here it's going to flip down to the asymptote. Here from 0 to 1 it goes from -1 to infinity, goes there. And all of those are going to hug those asymptotes. Then the only other thing we need to do is look at this point here. This is -3, -2. So if y is -2, what's 1 over -2? A half, so that'll finish that off. 1 over 5 is a fifth. That'll finish that off. For Monday, see if you can skip this, just draw these. You finish these, and then draw these reciprocals. We'll work on reciprocals on Monday, test Tuesday. Have a great weekend.